Sue Prentiss for re-election to New Hampshire Senate District 5. Senator Sue Prentiss is a leader in the New Hampshire Senate for a stronger, more inclusive future for New Hampshire. As a mother, a 30-year paramedic, and a former mayor and city councilor, Sue is uniquely qualified to be a champion for working families through the recovery to the public health and economic crises.
I am the proud mother of my daughter, Phoebe. Becoming a mother was one of the most meaningful choices that I have made in my life, and the ability to choose when I became a mother was very important to me. With the recent reversal of Roe v. Wade by the Supreme Court, my own daughter does not have the same reproductive rights that I did. Healthcare decisions should be made by patients and their healthcare providers, not by the government. It is now up to the New Hampshire legislature to protect the reproductive rights of all Granite Staters.
In addition to being a mom, Sue is a paramedic and a problem solver. She was the first female chief of emergency medical services at the New Hampshire Department of Safety.
When we did not have enough medical personnel to deploy vaccinations during the H1N1 outbreak, I stepped in and helped put our state's EMTs and paramedics to work on the problem. The early days of this program really paid off when it came time to fight back against COVID-19. During my first term in the New Hampshire Senate, I sponsored successful legislation to strengthen our state's public health networks so that we can anticipate and respond to future emergencies. I also sponsored legislation to increase ambulance reimbursement rates for the first time in 17 years. I am proud that both have passed and been signed into law.
As a longtime community leader with 12 years as a city councilor working at the local level, Sue knows that what happens in Concord impacts local communities.
I trust local officials to do their jobs. When small communities in New Hampshire suffered natural disasters that closed roads for months and even years because they didn't have the funds immediately available to rebuild the roads and their infrastructure, I worked to pass legislation that allows the state to provide zero-interest loans to towns and cities until federal FEMA funds become available.
As the mayor of Lebanon, Sue worked with our legislators to secure funding from the state to tear down dilapidated buildings on state-owned land in downtown West Lebanon.
I was determined and persistent. I held leaders in Concord accountable over many years, day by day, until the demolition equipment showed up at the West Bar Yard and knocked down those abandoned buildings. And now we have a fresh start for downtown West Lebanon. I know the power of what we can do when we work together to solve problems. And that's why I'm running for re-election to the New Hampshire State Senate. I'm proud of the work we've done, but there is so much more to do. With your support, I'll go back to Concord and keep fighting for women and babies, for working families, for public schools and teachers, for local communities, for all of us. Because that's who I am, a senator for all of us.
Sue Prentiss for re-election, a senator for all of us. Paid for by Friends of Sue Prentiss for NH Senate, 6 Batchelder Ave, West Lebanon, New Hampshire, 03784. Abigail Kennedy, Treasurer, Prentiss for NH.com.